Hello everyone, it's Davide here and welcome back to Learning Finance. In today's video guys, I want to talk about a SPAC, something that I usually don't do, but in this case I kind of like this business basically, which is Matterport. They just announced a possible SPAC merge with GHVI, which is Gores Holdings. So I'm going to talk about that, why I like the business and what do I think about the price of today, valuation as well. So the only thing I ask you is please leave me a like, it's very important and I thank you for it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new updates. Let's begin. Matterport. I don't know if you know what it is, but I think that yesterday just Kevin made a video about it. He said he was actually using that kind of stuff. Now, I have seen the announcement a couple of days ago, but honestly, I was kind of reading about the things and then the SPAC just exploded. So I didn't buy it, but I'm interested actually if I see a little bit of pullback. Anyway, Matterport is a company which offers this kind of 3D space screening, right? Mainly for real estate, but not only. Okay, so what I really like about this kind of technology is that it can be used for a lot of things. For example, it can be used by hotel to publicize the things on the internet. It can be used also by insurance to try to understand the properties, try to have precise screening of a property that they are insuring, to understand what are possible risks. An interesting part about this technology actually is that combined with the AI technology, it allows you also to measure the stuff. Now, because of the virus, obviously, this technology actually exploded in 2020. As always happens when a technology is easier, it's faster, cheaper, it tends to come out in a crisis situation, but then if it's very good, it tends to stay there. Okay, it's here to stay. What I like about it is that when you use the AI technology, basically more people are using it and it better it becomes, right? Because for example, for the measurement processes, it's not going to be very precise at the beginning, but as more and more and more people use it, more houses are actually screened, they have more data, they can be way more precise, and I like that. If they are able to acquire more data than, let's say, competitors, well, they're gonna be slightly better in my opinion, because that's how AI works. Who has more data wins. That's why, for example, with autonomous driving, Tesla is literally the best in the field, because there are a lot of new companies that they are promising to do autonomous driving vehicles. Yes, but do they have the data, the amount of data Tesla has? No, they don't. Now, this is the sales pitch, so obviously it is always kind of too much positive, right? Because they want you to buy the stuff. Anyway, we see that between the management, we have a lot of people that they were actually, for example, the CEO, RJ Pittman, previously worked for Google, Apple, eBay as well, the chief designer, Google eBay, the chief technology officer. So we have a lot of experience also in this company. And then they explain what is the total addressable market. They say that their objective is to actually digitalize physical assets. Something like, for example, if you think about it, like Google Street View, something like that, they have done it with streets. This technology can actually put everything related to real estate, hotels. For example, even if you have an Airbnb, take your building online with Matterport to design, build, promote, and manage your most valuable asset at your fingertips. So we see that they say that their pioneering technology has set the standard for nearly a decade. Basically, it's not something that they are creating it now. It's something that has already been used for over a decade, and now due to the pandemic stuff has really exploded. But they already know how to do it. Okay, it's not something that they are just starting, and that's another thing that I like. When we see actually the growth of subscribers that they have, they literally exploded in 2020. Look at that, 250,000 from 40,000 1 year before, right? So that's incredible. And as you can see here, they say about how it can be used. So not just real estate. Real estate is just probably one of the most useful things. Here they say hospitality. As I told you, if you have an Airbnb, you can promote it. Hotel as well. Commercial, industrial. That's very interesting. Now, I don't know if you have any experience with industrial stuff or construction stuff. If you are an entrepreneur in one of those sectors, you're going to spend a lot of time actually physically going in the place to try to understand how the work can be done, what to do, what to use, what can be done and what can't. So all of that process takes a lot of time. If you are able to do that, let's say from home, it's better, right? You don't actually go there, you don't have to travel, you don't spend an entire day trying to do this kind of stuff, but let's say the customers just screen the home, the property or whatever it is, so that from home you can just stay there and maybe work on 2 to 3 different works. So it is faster, it is cheaper, it saves you time, you don't have to travel, and in my opinion it's something very interesting that it can be used in the future. We can see here they say actually they can be used in real estate, AAC, travel or hospitality, as I told you, repair and insurance. That's another very interesting stuff. You can understand without actually going there a lot of things thanks to this high quality 3D scanning, especially if they're able to improve the measurement process, right, with artificial intelligence. So now here they are literally promoting themselves. They say that they have the potential to become a $100 billion plus market cap. It is a SaaS business. So basically you pay monthly to use a service, okay, to use a software, something that it's very interesting in terms of margin as well, in terms of profitability of the business. First of all, years ago, obviously, when the camera technology was not advanced, this kind of work required expensive cameras. And now those expensive cameras are still used today, obviously, if you want to do a high quality work. But the reality is that with smartphones stuff, cameras are always better and better. We are going through a basically shift. So you can use it just by using your smartphone. I don't know how much is the quality today, but obviously it's gonna get better as the technology of smartphones improves. And with that said, their business model actually goes more from a basically product perspective to a more of a service perspective, right? Something that you pay a fee monthly. We can see where it is here in the website. Now if you go there, view, plan and pricing, you see all you need is a plan and a camera. Now that one I think it was the old camera, kind of the best, top in the quality, costs 2,825 euros. But the reality is that this thing is gonna be probably done with a smartphone in a couple of years, and that is gonna be even more interesting because a lot of more people are gonna use it. Now, not everyone is willing to pay $2,800 in a camera, but if you can just do it with your phone, probably just paying a fees, 8.99 euros per month. The starter price, if you wanted professional, 62 euros. I don't know how much it is in dollars in the US, but anyway, that's the idea, right? So also the scalability and the volumes of people that they can use it without actually spending too much at the beginning for a camera. That will obviously push volumes and subscriptions higher and higher. So that's why I like this thing. I think that it can be used in a lot of different stuff. If you start to think about it, how many times, depending on your job, you have to go in a place and actually take photos of a room, for example, if you have to do a work. If you have this kind of technology, you can actually scan the thing, and then when you're home, it's like basically you're actually there, okay? So you can do measurements, you can do whatever you want. And that's why it's interesting. Then here you can see the projections. That's what I was telling you before, right? Look at that. We have in black the subscription model, and then the other, which was basically mostly products. So actually the sales of those big cameras. And we can see how going on in the future, they expect the subscription part to actually increase substantially compared with the product part. So we go around at a 50-50 split, a little bit less in 2019 and 2020 to actually we have over there, we have a 6-to-1 ratio, right, in subscriptions and orders. And that is amazing because it pushes margins, it pushes profitability. So look at the total gross margin. We go from 48, which is already great in 2019, to 2025 is estimated 73%. That's amazing. Here we see a little bit of financial summary. Now, obviously, remember, this is a sales pitch, right? So those things are probably optimistic. I don't know. Anyway, from there, we see that they're not profitable. They're going to become profitable in 2024. And then 2025, they're projecting an 11% EBITDA. The thing is that with a total gross margin of 73%, the EBITDA is low because they are actually saying that they will continue to invest and develop this technology, right? And also marketing. And what is beautiful about it, compared with just selling the products, is that when you sell a product, okay, well done. Then you have to wait for the people to actually come back and buy a new product. It's not something that happens every month. The beautiful about this is that when you make a monthly paying service, actually every month you have this kind of income that comes to you, and that's good for a healthy business. Anyway, guys, now we have to talk about the risks, because the risks are huge and are mostly related not to the business, but to the Spac system, right? Because the main risk is that another competitor comes with something that works better. But as I told you, okay, I agree with that completely. But when it comes to artificial intelligence, you want to make something works very precisely. You need a lot of data, as I just explained. So it's not that someone just tomorrow from nothing, it comes out with something similar. Who has the most data is gonna be the best. That's how it works in artificial intelligence. But in terms of the Spac valuation, that's the real problem, because the market is so hot right now that basically as long as you have just a rumor, the Spac, boom, explodes. And no one really actually look at the valuation of the company. And they were trying to do a pro forma, fully diluted enterprise value of around $2.3 billion. I have read in some article they were around 2.9. Anyway, it's between 2.3 and $3 billion, okay? The valuation of the company Matterport. Now, if you buy GHVI, you get 11.8% of the entire business. Now, the problem is that today the price is $16.50, and that gives a market cap of the Spac of $715 million. If we consider an 11.80% ownership, it would mean that today the Spac is pricing an enterprise value of $6 billion, right? So basically 100% more than what they were pricing over there, even more, right? 2.3 billion, but I told you that someone is saying around 3 billion. So 6 billion Spac. Today the market is pricing 6 billion. So that's the main problem of Spacs. You basically get sometimes great businesses, because in this case I really like the business itself, but in terms of valuation you're not getting a deal, right? You're actually overpaying in basically 99% of the Spacs out there. So that's the main problem of Spacs. Not that the businesses are bad, some of them are obviously, but some of them are great. This one is great in my opinion. Anyway, the capitalization as of now is probably too much. That's why I didn't buy. I haven't bought it yet. I'm gonna see actually what the market is gonna do today, tomorrow. If we have a pullback down, if the stock becomes around $13, $12, well, I'm gonna think about it, okay? Very, very interesting business. So that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you find it interesting. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me, what do you think about Matterport? What do you think about this technology? And subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.